absolutely a good thing for housing. For every 25 basis point decline in the mortgage rate, that's equivalent to about a 3% price in the home, cut in the price of the home. So right now, home prices are down for the consumer more than 10%. So it makes it much more affordable. And I think today the housing market is responding to that lower rate. We're seeing very good activity, especially at the low end of the market.
But we also have fear of recession, and consumers are incredibly hinky when it comes to that kind of thing, especially when making their single largest investment. How is that going to influence them?
Well, I think most consumers are not as privy to what's happening on Wall Street. All of us Wall Street people are laser focused on the market and the volatility, but not everyone has stocks or owns stocks in the stock market. So Main Street actually is doing very well. Consumers have jobs, they're seeing wage inflation, and I think overall confidence is still strong. Now, if the stock market remains this volatile and we see this type of downward pressure continuing, I think it's going to have an impact. I think it's your more sophisticated homeowner and someone who's thinking about trading up. There you're going to see more trepidation, and rates don't really matter to them. They're more worried about the markets.
I'm wondering why, though, the home builders aren't reacting more. Over the past 6 months, we've seen mortgage rates coming down, not as dramatically as they have in the past 2 weeks, but they've been steadily coming down since January, and yet we have not seen more home builder activity. In fact, the first 6 months of this year, building permits for single family are down compared to last year. Why are the builders not more bullish on their own market?
No, actually, the builders are actually doing well. In fact, we just published our proprietary home building survey for July, and orders were up 20% year over year. But because of 2018's weakness, which was predominantly due to rates spiking in 2018, builders got caught with too much spec inventory. So throughout the first 7 months of 2019, they're building through the spec that they got caught with. So you really don't see it in the government data, but we have boots on the ground. We survey about 15% of new home sales, and we've seen pretty strong activity throughout the first 7 months of the year. Sequentially, for the last 7 months, every month has been better than seasonal, and resulting finally now in a very robust year-over-year increase, roughly 20%.
And I want to talk about those boots on the ground because you have some proprietary information now on the iBuyer market. You talked about how competitive housing is now. iBuyers, of course, being the companies like Open Door and Zillow that will buy your house for you immediately, no questions asked, but at a discount. What are you seeing in that market? You called it revolutionary.
It is revolutionary for anybody who owns a home today and wants to sell that home, especially a mother like myself with little children that you imagine mine aren't little anymore. In fact, we just dropped off our oldest in college, University of Miami, go Zoe. In any case, when you think about that mother who's got a little children and needs to keep the home clean and get the kids out of the house when the realtor wants to show the house, they want to stage the house, they tell you your carpet looks bad, your cabinet looks old, you need to fix up the home. That consumer, by the idea of getting a liquid or getting cash and getting rid of the home in 3 days without needing a realtor is revolutionary. It's a wonderful consumer experience.
Do you think the tech companies are going to buy into this? You said potentially one of the FANG companies could buy an iBuyer, even Zillow?
Well, Zillow's in it. Zillow is big in it, actually. They've done quite a heroic pivot, leaving their core lead generation business.
But one of them buying Zillow, or Google buying Zillow.
Well, I think they have to prove it first. Those FANG companies need to see that it actually works before they step in. And I think those companies have a lot of heavy lifting to do before they can prove that it can actually be a profitable business.
But it's a possibility.